Homage to the lineage gurus, homage to the Venerable Mang Liaoming, homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong, homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, and homage to Master Tupten Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today, Sakyamuni Buddha. Sumo, Danzen Katso, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, and all disciples present here and over the internet. And our participating VIPs today are the Taipei reps to Sweden and Norway's Ambassador Dongzhou Liao's wife, Dharma Sister Judy, and the PR director of the Taiwan Temple, Dharma Brother Fumi Wang. Good afternoon, everyone. How do you do? Let me announce for next Sunday, which is on March 15th, Sunday at 3 p.m., there would be the Homa of Tara who dispels epidemics. So on that day, that would be the first Dharma transmissions, including her mudra of Tara who dispels epidemics. Today, we had the Homa of Sakyamuni Buddha, and everybody knows Sakyamuni Buddha, which is the founder of Buddhism in the Saha world, or in Samsara. And most Buddhists know about his life and his teaching that was divided into several stages. Upon his enlightenment, his teachings after he proved and confirmed the Buddhahood, first he transmitted or he taught the teachings of the Four Noble Truths to people in the Sravaka path. He taught about the Four Noble Truths, which is the suffering, the accumulation, the extinction, and the path. So the Noble Truth means the ultimate truth that's unchanging. So the Four Noble Truths, and they are suffering, accumulation, extinction, and path. the Four Noble Truths.
那么他释迦牟尼佛在传大乘佛教的时候，
When Sakyamuni Buddha was transmitting the Buddhism of the great vehicle, the Mahayana, he taught about the 6 perfections or 6 paramitas. 是不是？
然后
有没有声音啊？ So that's about giving or generosity, moral ethics, abiding by the precepts, patience and endurance. And for all the 6 perfections, you have to be diligent in doing them. So that's diligence and wisdom. And last, meditation or meditative stability. So generosity, most importantly, you have to have non-discriminating mind, and whatever precepts that you abide by, you cannot breach the samaya precept. You have to abide by your precepts, and you have to endure. And the 8 winds or the 8 worldly dharmas cannot change your spiritual commitment. You have that perseverance and endurance, and you need to be diligent in doing them, in performing the 4 boundless minds: loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity, and in all of the 6 paramitas. And then meditation, samadhi, and from meditation you enhance your wisdom, and by having wisdom you generate meditation. So that's the Bodhisattva path, the teachings for the Bodhisattva path. When you reach the highest realm, Sakyamuni Buddha taught, you have gained enlightenment, then you need to apply your enlightenment to your daily life until eventually you have perfect your self-deliverance and the deliverance of others. So your realization and your actions are perfect. So you benefit or deliver yourself and others. And then you are endowed with the most perfect mind, and that is called bodhicitta, or the body mind. So by having the most perfect mind, then you have attained Buddhahood. So that is the Buddha path. The Buddha also taught about the 12 flings of causes and conditions. And what are the 12 causes, 12 links of causes and conditions? So all the way to old and death. And that's the path of the solitary realizers. So the Buddha taught about the 4 holy realms. One is the Sravakahood, Pratyeka Buddhahood, Bodhisattvahood, and the Buddhahood, or Buddha vehicle. So the 4 holy realms are the realms where you are free from rebirths or reincarnations, and they are eternal. They are the eternal attainments. When the Buddha was alive in the world, he expounded on the vehicles of the Sravaka, Pratika Buddha, Bodhisattva, and Buddhahood. And in our Dharma practice, the Buddha's image, his body is pure gold color, and the right hand is touching the ground, the mudra of touching the ground, and the left hand is in the meditation mudra, which carry a bowl filled with ambrosia or nectar. And he's wearing a Sangha robe, and his image is majestic, brilliant, and perfect. His body is translucent and seated on a white lotus seat throne. And he is meditating peacefully the mantra. So, Sakya is the name of the clan of the Buddha. So we rely on Sakyamuni Buddha. Therefore, each of the ordained Sangha member has this Sakya as their Dharma name. So it starts with, so my ordination Dharma name is Si Lian Seng, and Grandmaster's Dharma name is Lian Sheng. So Si in Chinese is Sakya, and Moni means the benevolent, the able and the benevolent. So he's able and he's also benevolent. So therefore he's the able and the benevolent. His mantra, so the mantra is the Sakyamuni Yidam of the universe, the able, the benevolent, the greatly able and benevolent of the Sakya clan. That complete everything. That's the meaning of his mantra. And the mudra is called the Three Mountain Mudra. First you collapse inward and then raise your index fingers, middle finger and pinky. No, it should be the thumbs. Thumbs, middle fingers and the pinkies. So they look like three mountains. The Chinese character for mountain looks like this. Therefore, it's called the Three Mountain Mudra. You can either form the inner or outer clasps. So with the mudra, mantra, and image, then you can perform the practice of Sakyamuni Buddha as the deity yoga. So we all know about Sakyamuni Buddha's life because we are all Buddhists. We know what day is is his
在
parinirvana.
这个荼毗的时候的日子，解除涅槃的日子，
which is his parinirvana
这是
date
佛陀
anniversary.
方面的。我们今天呢，再谈一下这个道果。
Now we will continue to talk about Lamdre.
这一本道果，以往他所说的道果，
Actually, this Lamdre, authored by Virupa,
好像密教的4个大法，像
is
大
the
部
same as the 4 great
同教
Dharma
满法，
of the 4
大
schools.
手印法，
So the Nyingmapas, Dokchen, Kagyupas, Mahamudra, Galupas, Yamantaka, and Sakyapas Lamdre.
那这4个法，其实啊，同出一源。我们
These 4 dharmas
大部分都是相同的，
are
只有小部分
mostly similar,
有一点差别。
only small differences.
4个教派的4个大法，
So the 4
协会道果，
great dharma of the 4 Tibetan schools are about the same. So once you master Lamdre, then you would understand about all the others.
是道果的法来讲，以前讲过大
So now we choose about to explain Lamdre, and in the past we also talk about Dokchen or Great Perfection.
那么这里提到变影大法，变影大小，变影大小。
So now we are talking about discerning the size of the shadows,
很大，
like the magnitude of the hindrances. Some hindrances are
像我们这个
big and some are small.
杀盗
Like for the 5 precepts, not to kill, steal, adulterate,
淫妄酒，
lie, and
这是5戒。
drink.
什么是大呢？以杀生为大。
When which one is the big one? Killing.
你杀害
Killing would create the biggest hindrance.
在你这
So
个
if you
相
kill a life,
中是最大的障碍。
then in your spiritual cultivation, it would create the biggest hindrance.
饮酒
And the small hindrance
小的障碍，
is drinking alcohol.
这个罪就是比较轻一点。
That's the smallest
什么罪
hindrance.
最重？杀生罪
And the
最重。
retribution would be small. And the heaviest one is killing.
喝这个小
What
酒，
transgressions is the smallest is to drink a little bit of
喝了大酒
alcohol. But if you drink too much
可
alcohol,
能会犯杀盗淫妄。
then
就是
perhaps you would breach the precepts of killing, lying, stealing,
你喝
and
酒喝的
infidelity.
醉醺醺的，已经醉了。
So, because if you drink and get really drunk, then you would breach the greatest
你喝了酒
obstruction, which is
不顾一切呢，你杀了生。
you
喝
can't
了酒
control yourself and kill yourself.
就可以去偷盗。
And after
喝
drinking,
了酒
perhaps
撞了打，
you dare to steal.
你就可以去
Or after drinking,
强暴女生。
then you dare to rape someone.
这个都是酒害的。这个酒
So it was caused by
酒
the
就是
alcohol.
最小的障碍。
Although
但是你只要喝
at
了
start it's the smallest
醉了，变成大，
hindrance,
它
but
就可以
if you drink too much, it becomes a big hindrance. Then you could transgress
不要小看
the other precepts to kill, steal, lie,
酒喝
and
醉了
to be infidel.
是大了。有的人
So
喝了
please
酒
don't undermine drinking.
那连
Some
这个
people, after taking some drink, then
上帝
they
和
have they dare to do anything. They curses everybody, including all their ancestors, so even the Buddha, because you're so drunk that you become uncontrollable. So at that time, the breach becomes major, become big. So that's why you have to abide by the precepts. So this is just talking about the 5 precepts. All the precepts come from these 5 basic precepts. So the 5 basic precepts are the beginning. So as I said last night, we are a mix of good and bad. It's not necessarily that we are born evil or we are born good. So in the sutra of the 3 characters is that human beings are born good. That's wrong. Actually, that's wrong. Because as you're born, your genes already have the shadows, the hindrances. So you have your karma with you, whether they are good or bad karma, they follow you. So everyone is different when they're born. Some are rather good, some are rather bad, some are a mix of good and bad, or more good than bad, or more bad than good. But there isn't anything completely good or completely bad. But through spiritual cultivation, eventually we have to reach the complete goodness, that each thought is good. So, at the end of our spiritual cultivation, we are completely good. Or like in Taoism, we become completely young, or purely young. So discerning the size of the shadows. There are 3 sizes of the shadows: big, medium, and small. And the next one is testing the signs of the shadows, determining the size of the shadows in the dreams. If one dreams of his guru reproving him, showing his back, inability to catch up with him, the seeing the sutras being disorderly, the yidams falling into water, etc., this indicates that one has breached the samaya. So if you dream of dream of your guru reprimanding you or reproving you, or that the guru is not facing you but has his back toward you, or when you want to get close to your guru but the guru is always at a distance, when you cannot catch up with your guru no matter what, Like when you dream that all the sutras that you have are disorderly, or you see the yidams falling into the water, and you yourself also fall into the water. So this indicates that you have reached the samaya, and this is the signs of the shadows in the dreams. That's all about. That's what it's about it. If one dreams of landslide, thunder strike, huge flood, you dream of the sun and the moon falling. These are the signs of the ghost and Mara. Next, if one dreams of lice, mites, like lice that sometimes stay at women's hair, and lots of insects, and crawling inside your body and on your body. That is the sign of evil minds. So the hindrances caused by evil friends, or friends who have breached the precepts. So, and then if you have dreams like this, then you should pay attention and be careful. So you have a bad spiritual companions or bad companions that create hindrances for you. If one dreams of taking ash or dirt, gray dirt, smeared toward on our skin, or you ate the ash contaminated food or flies, that's the sign of the hindrances of the food and drink. If one dreams of dirty room and very filthy and with lots of other dirty things, like if you have poo or pee all around you, that's the sign of the hindrances of your place or residence. So sometimes if your house is unclean, then you would have this kind of dreams. If one dreams of corpses rising up, or flames coming out from his mouth, that's the sign of touching corpses. These are classified as the broad, middling, and essential method of determining the signs of the disturbances or hindrances through dreams. Anything filthy or scary, insects entering into clothing or bodies, are considered as big shadows. If any dirty or filthy things or insects or snakes on your clothing, on bodies, those are considered to be big obstructions or hindrances. But if they don't enter into your bodies, but they're just nearby, like the snakes, insects, lice, mites, etc. That's considered the medium hindrances. And if you dream of insects or snakes around the house, that's just considered small hindrances. The sensation of receiving these signs are, for big shadows, you would feel upset and unhappy. And for medium shadows, you feel stiff, heavy, irritable, easy to anger. And for small hindrances, you don't want to meditate without any particular reasons. You don't want to meditate, you don't want to practice. That's a small hindrance. So today, in Expounding Lamdre, we're talking about the signs in dreams. If you're always unhappy, so many people have depression. They don't like anything. They are not interested in anything. So if you have depression, that's considered you have big hindrance. And for the medium hindrance, you feel heavy and stiff and inflexible, irritable, easy to anger, a little bit like OCD. So that's the medium hindrance. And for the small hindrances, is you don't like to practice, you don't like to meditate. So the effects of the hindrances, big shadows can take lives. So like depressed people cannot feel any happiness or joy in life. So when they feel unhappy, they want to end their lives. They can take lives. So big hindrances can take lives. And the medium hindrances create misery and suffering in body and mind. So you were able to meditate and you cannot anymore. And for the small hindrances, you just don't want to meditate. You don't want to practice. You don't want to cultivate. That's the small hindrances. And the methods to eliminate the shadows, the big hindrances, can be eliminated by empowerments. 4 kinds of empowerments. The medium hindrances can be eliminated by grand offerings. So by offering practices. And the small hindrances can be eliminated by purification and bathing. Then you can cleanse it. So the big hindrances can be eliminated by empowerment by your guru. And the medium hindrances can be eliminated by offerings, fire offering, water offerings, and other offerings in order to eliminate them. And the small hindrances can be eliminated by purification and bathing. In the past, for the small hindrances, you use the white flower petals,
用7的倍数的，7
and
是5瓣，
for the number multiplied by 7, like 49,
清净咒，
49 petals, and you chant the purification mantras, like the ones we chant Om Shushuli Mahashuli Shushuli Swaha.
南无三满多摩诃南，唵哆罗哆罗提维梭哈，这个是属于清净咒，念持心
These are purification mantras,
加持，
and you chant 108 times to bless the white petals, and then you sprinkle them on the bath water, and then you soak in it. Then afterwards, your small hindrances can be eliminated.
其依据目意除者，
For the elimination of shadow through
分
bathing,
为大中小3类，
the shadows created
大平
by Mara are also divided into 3 kinds, big, medium, and small.
极尽事之具，
Bathing to eliminate the big shadows
坛城，上直一净瓶，具性相，
should completely cleanse and tidy the meditation room and set up 9 altars.
白戒指上，
At the top, place a purifying vase with the cloth covering it. Place and lit incense at the mouth of the vase, sprinkled with mustard seeds. And inside the vase, place 5 kinds of herbs, 5 grains, 5 treasures, for a total of 15 kinds.
形容物有书法，附魔之灰烬，
And infuse them with perfume and the special Homa ash
裸虫骨粉，白戒指
on the bone ash of poisoned bird and fruit flies, mustard seeds, etc., and place a conch on top of the vase with a perfume stored inside it or on top of it, and bind them with Vajra scepter and Dharani thread.
他这个时候用目意的方法去除
So you use the bathing practice to eliminate
障碍，
the big hindrances, medium hindrances, and small hindrances according to their method. So inside the vase, you should place the 5 herbs, 5 grains, 5 treasures, for a total of 15 kinds. And the 5 herbs are
我们知道有佛手参吗？你们知道吗？
Hososan.
不知道，
Do you know what they are?
参是属于一种人参的参，
It's a kind of ginseng
像手掌一样的参，
that looks like a hand.
点钩子，健康食法，这是5样，可能最重要的。
So, Tiankou Kusen. These are all names of the herbs. And the 5 grains are buckwheat, rice, wheat, beans, and sesame seeds.
他们做酒也是做清
Barleys. Like in Tibet, we know about barleys, barley wine, and barley flour that makes champa.
这个西藏才有清客，我们
We only have this kind of barley in Tibet, but in China they use sorghum.
用高粱的这个制作，那在美国用什么？就用
And in America, what do they use?
用面粉、米、小麦、豆、芝麻，
So wheat flour, rice, bean, sesames,
山
And the five treasures: gold, silver, coral, pearl, and brass. So, or copper. Gold, silver, coral, pearl, and copper. So about signs in dreams, now you know that whether you have big hindrances, medium hindrances, or small hindrances, things that entered into your body, that's big hindrance. And for the medium hindrance, if they're on your clothings, and the small hindrance is that around your house or room. If you dream of insects, snakes, if they enter into your body, that's big hindrances. If they're on your body, that's medium hindrances. If they're nearby or around the house, those indicate small hindrances. I remember there's some disciples that after empowerments, they dream that there are many insects crawling out from his body, like or fall off from his head, and he had headache, but lots of insects came out from his head, fell to the ground and died. And then when he woke up, the headache was cured. So that's the dream omen to eliminate hindrances, because the snakes and the insects are all dead. We're all dead. There's a German expert who suggested every day you should eat 3 pounds of garlic. Although you may not be able to prevent the coronavirus, but it can guarantee that people would keep a distance from you. So there's this benefit. It's a coincidence. Before I said about the longitude, that Wuhan is at the 40 degrees longitude, and Wuhan, Tokyo, Seattle, New York. So also Iran and Italy. So all connected together to form a line. It's in latitude, actually 40-degree latitude. They're all at the 40-degree latitude. How come? I remember that Seattle and Hokkaido are also at about 40-degree latitude. That includes New York, Seattle, Seoul, Wuhan, Iran, and Italy. They're all in one line. What a coincidence. Not a coincidence. Look at the world. It's very strange. Everything is predestined. Why do I say this? Anything belonging to the north, mostly they have fair skin or white skin. Most Those in the north have fair skin.
中央的不北不南，
At the equator,
全部都是黄
at the center, they all yellow-skinned.
属于南方的，
And in the south, they all have black skin.
就是这么巧。
What a coincidence.
属于北方的都是这个文明的国家，比较文明的国家，
And countries in the north are rather
属于中
civilized.
一半文明，
And at the center,
一半不文明，
just half-half.
属于南方的
And in the south,
落后的国家。
rather underdeveloped countries.
你看巧，就是这么巧。
Isn't that strange?
讲是大部分，大部分。
I only talk about the majority. Okay. Most of the majority of countries in the north
半球的
are mostly civilized. In the center, half a half, and in the south are rather either uncivilized or underdeveloped.
就是本来就这样。啊，你在整个历史上来讲起来，
And throughout the history, anytime the north
南北方
attack
会
the south, the north will win and south will lose.
北方比较冷，
And it's colder in the north and harder in the south.
北半球的人他比较冷漠，
So northerners are typically colder and the southerners are warm-hearted.
所以你看地球上我们整个
And when the north attacks the south, north will win. In the Chinese history,
南朝的
every time the north attacks the south, they would win.
北魏，
During the era of the Emperor of Liang,
北魏就
Beiwei attacking Liang Qi, Beiwei won.
健康就是南京了。你看以前
The emperor was at the
这个在中国大陆
Nanjing.
啊，中共是在
In mainland China, the Communist Party was in the north,
这个国民党啊，所谓的
and the KMT, Kuomintang Party, was at the
北
Nanjing.
京打南京，
So when Beijing attacked Nanjing, Nanjing
北
lost.
打梁朝，梁
When
就
Beiwei
就完蛋了。
attacked Liang Qi was
元朝
destructed.
打进来，
And when the Yuan dynasty, the Mongolia, attacked the Middle Kingdom, it was also gone.
也是在北方，然后打
The Qing dynasty was also in the north.
清朝是打明朝，这清朝就
Attacking the Ming dynasty, the Qing also won.
北方南方，
So in mainland China, it was like that.
然后我们看这个北越打南越，
And the North Vietnam attacked South Vietnam. The North also won.
另外呢，我们再看那个二次大战也是啊，二次大战也是一样。
And the same with the Second World War.
另外，美国的南北战争，美国的南北
And
战
the
争
Civil War in
也是
America
北方赢，北方
between the North and the South.
战争
Also, the North
北
won,
方赢，对不对？
right?
就是这样子的。为什么呢？
How come?
中国道家的这个五行也是很厉害啊。
So the 5 elements of Taoism was also quite
南方属火，北方属
quite incredible because
大灭火，
North belongs to the element water and South belongs to the element fire, and the water always extinguishes the fire. so the north always wins.
你要先占住北方。
So if you want to fight, make sure you occupy the north,
你说韩战，
because the north always wins over the south.
韩的武力就比较强。
Like Korea, the military power of North Korea is stronger than the South Korea.
就不一样了。
So it's different.
同样都
It's just one Korea. They're different.
现在北韩呢，他的人就比较强悍，
And the Northern Koreans are more vicious, and the Southern Koreans are quite sissies, quite weak.
奶奶。
So sissy,
南韩就比较奶奶，就像北韩这样，
not like the North Koreans.
就是这样子。像中国的东北，中国的东北。
The northeasterners of mainland China, they are tall and strong and more powerful. And the south of the river are very weak and sissy.
地球就可以分成这样子，我们用字在这个上面刚好。
So that's how it is. One earth, all the differences. 这是一个笑话，一个 This is a joke.
妻子这样子讲。
A wife
我
said,
的老公，你可以在外面睡美眉，
as my husband,
后必须快走，
you can sleep with girls,
再睡第二次。
but afterwards you have to leave right away and never sleep with the same girl twice.
酒店左拥右抱，但我打
And as my husband, you can hugs and holds with girls, but when I call you, you tell them not to make any sounds, and you have to call me wife. Oh,
等你没钱了就回来。
and you can spend money for other girls, and you can come back when
我们是宾馆，我是家。
you have finished your money, and you can come home and we can earn money together. Just remember that they are hotels and I'm
这个先生回答
a house or a home.
对我太好了，
So, and the wife asked, so have you finished reading? And the husband said, yes, you're so nice to me.
知写
And the wife replied, I don't know which idiot wrote that.
我可不行，只要
What a woman, but definitely not for me.
天的太阳。
If you ever make this mistake, you will never see tomorrow.
前面那个都是白纸写的，后面这一句
So
话
the idiot wrote
自己
the earlier ones, and only the last one was written by the wife.
所以小心一点。
So be careful.
这个妻子讲说会让你看不到明天的太阳。这里有一个作文叫做心里话，它是这样子说
There's a composition, an article, a composition by students.
很久很久的话，
Um,
我每一次
words from my heart.
家长，你多点名叫我妈妈来学校。
You know, I always want to ask this. How come when you ask for my parents to come to school, you always ask for my mom and not for my dad? Because I don't come from a single parent family.
爸爸也是我的学生，
And the teacher replied, because your dad was also my student, and your dad caused my a weak heart. That's why I don't want to face him anymore.
好笑。 告诉你啊，这就是很怪，在北纬40度。
This is so strange that the 40 degrees latitude. The first city that coronavirus was discovered in the United States was Seattle. And the first death from coronavirus in the United States was also in Seattle. And then the first who cured a patient suffered from coronavirus, the first patient that recovered was also in Seattle. So the list of cities, Wuhan had the most cherry blossoms. Tokyo also has the most cherry blossoms. Daegu in Korea also famous for the cherry blossoms. And Seattle also has the most cherry blossoms city. So the conclusion is the secondary host is the cherry blossoms. The intermediary host. And let me tell you that our Rainbow Villa, our Seattle temple, are surrounded by cherry blossoms. The main driveway at the Rainbow Temple are lined with cherry blossoms. So in the future, we should not plant cherry blossoms. Why? Don't know. What is the reason? And Wuhan is also the place with most cherry blossoms in China. And also Japan and Daegu in Korea. And Tokyo has the most sakura too. And Seattle. Like during the cherry blossom season, you go around Microsoft, there are many of them. And also a line of them at the Seattle Temple and also at the Rainbow Temple. I was planning to enjoy the cherry blossoms. Are they open here? No, not yet. April? Some have bloomed in April. So my conclusion is the novel coronavirus has its predestiny. How could it be such a coincidence? Seattle, New York, Wuhan, Korea, Hokkaido, Daegu, Korea, Italy and Iran and France. They're all at 40 degrees latitude. How could it be a coincidence? So inadvertently they are faith of in all this.